Hey guys, this is Andrew with Diving Sports in BC, Canada. Today we want to talk about fins, mainly for freediving and spearfishing. We're mainly going to cover some plastic fins today. We've got another video coming out, really going into detail over carbon fins, so don't worry about that. But today we just want to talk about plastic fins. And yeah, let's get right into it. So I just want to talk about the length of fins. So this is going to be something that most people are going to notice when they're starting to pick up their first pair of freediving or spearfishing fins, is they're a lot longer than your standard short fin. And a lot of times we see people starting out with something like this, just a shorter fin that they've got laying around the house. And a shorter length like this might be good for somebody who's never used a fin before, and they're just getting used to the basic techniques of actually kicking with a fin. These are really good for, snorkeling and scuba diving. They're not the best for freediving and spearfishing just because they don't have that length. And that length is what you're looking for in a freediving fin, because it's going to give you more efficiency for each kick. It's going to help you conserve oxygen and energy and help you get down to deeper depths. And from there, we're going to go to a fin that's going to be a lot longer. So this is the Cressi GARA 3000. So as you can tell, it's a lot longer than our standard short snorkeling fin. Now with freediving and spearfishing, you do want a fin that's a little bit longer, just like this one. Now this extra length is actually going to help you dive deeper. So it's going to allow you to get more return for each kick, which allows you to use less energy and to keep your heart rate low. And with freediving and spearfishing, the main thing, guys, is you actually want to be as relaxed as possible. If you're not relaxed, you're kicking really hard, that's not an efficient way to use your oxygen or energy. You're going to burn that and you're not going to be able to stay underwater for as long. From there, we want to talk about the foot pockets. So you'll see on a lot of snorkeling and scuba diving things that they actually have this strap that goes around the back and cinches onto your foot. Now, typically with freediving spearfishing fins, they don't have that, and they have this full foot pocket. And this full foot pocket is going to be the most efficient way for you to get that energy from your foot down to the tip of the blade. So you really want to make sure that this fits you really well. If it's too loose, it's going to be sliding off. You're going to be losing a lot of energy as you're kicking. And if it's too tight, you're going to get cramps in your feet and you're not going to want to be in the water. So in general, there's going to be two types of foot pockets that you're going to find with long fins. The first one, being on the cheaper end and more entry level, is going to be actually connected to the blade itself, and you're not going to be able to remove that. Now, we typically don't recommend somebody to get a pair of fins like this, just because you're not actually able to upgrade the blade in the future if you decide to go to fiberglass or carbon fiber. Just because it's stuck in there, there's no way for you to actually remove it. You're just going to be stuck with that plastic fin, and if you decide to upgrade, you're going to have to get a brand new pair of foot pockets to go with your new blades. And this is the other kind of foot pocket, guys, and this is what we typically recommend for people to get, just because you can take that blade out of here. Now with this foot pocket, you have the versatility to be able to upgrade your blade to a different one in the future. And it's pretty easy to take these apart. All you have to do is take out the tendons and actually unscrew this part right here. The blade will slide out and you can swap them out for a new one. And from there, guys, we just want to talk about the stiffness of different blades. So a lot of times people are really confused or not sure, do I get soft, do I get medium, do I get stiff? And a lot of it comes down to you personally, but also what you're going to be doing with your fins. Now, as a general rule, if you weigh 165 pounds or less, you're going to want something a little bit softer, just like this Cressi GARA right here. Now, this is going to be a lot of a softer fin. It's going to be easier for you to kick with. It's going to be really good for people who are a little bit lighter, just like myself. Now, if you weigh 165 pounds to 200 pounds, you're going to want something that's more in the medium stiffness range. And so here I have the Bowshotmundi Sport. So this, as you can see, it's not as soft as the Cressi GARAs. They're not super stiff, but it's definitely more in that medium stiffness range. And this is going to be good for somebody who's a little bit heavier or has stronger legs, and the soft ones just aren't doing it for you. And if you guys weigh 200 pounds or more, you're going to want something that's on the stiffer end of things. So here I have the Bowshotmundial Elite. These are definitely a lot stiffer, while they do still have that return on them. So this is going to be for somebody who's heavier or they have really strong legs. This is not for somebody who's a lot lighter like myself. It's just a lot more difficult to kick something as stiff as this. Now you also have to think about what you're actually going to be doing in the water. Now if you guys are just freediving, doing those deep line dives, you're definitely going to want to lean more into the softer end of things. Now if you're doing a lot more spearfishing compared to freediving, you may want to go with a more medium stiffness fin. Especially if you're going to be fighting a lot of currents or dragging fish out from the depths, that medium stiffness is going to help propel you through the water. Now I want to talk about the pros of plastic fins. So a big pro is that they're super durable, which is going to be really good for somebody who's learning and they're maybe not so careful with their kicks or where they're diving. It's going to be really nice for somebody who's just getting into the sport, as you don't really have to worry about being too careful with your fins, as they can really take a beating and they're going to last a long time. And they tend to be on the cheaper end, especially when you compare them to carbon fiber or fiberglass fins. And you can get a really good pair of plastic fins for about $200. And that's definitely going to be on the cheaper end of things, especially when you consider that fiberglass or carbon fiber is easily going to run you $500 or $600. Now, one con that we have with the plastic fins is that they're going to be a lot heavier of a fin. Now, with that extra weight, you're going to feel a lot more fatigue in your legs compared to something lighter like a carbon fiber or fiberglass. So here I have the Bowshot carbon fins. They're going to be a lot lighter, a lot more reactive compared to the plastics. And even though these fins are a medium stiffness, they're still super flexible and they have that reactivity that you're looking for. And so the weight and reactivity of these fins is going to help you to get really efficient kicks. It's going to allow you to conserve oxygen and energy, and it's going to really allow you to get down to deeper depths than a standard classic fin would. And from there, I just want to go over these fins really quickly and just show you guys some differences between them. So with the one that we started off with, this is the Bowshot Mandial 150. And this has the foot pocket that is attached to the blade, so you're not going to be able to take that apart. This is going to be a little bit better for somebody who's going to be snorkeling or scuba diving more so than freediving and spearfishing. And from there, we have our first pair of long fins. These are Cressi GARA 3000s. These are pretty common. They're not amazing. They are a little bit on the stiffer end of things. It's just going to be a little bit more difficult for you to kick and learn with compared to something that's going to be softer than this. And from there, we have another Cressi fin. So this is the Gara Modular. It's got that detachable foot pocket. It's also a lot of a softer blade, so it's going to be better for people who are a little bit lighter or want to do more freediving compared to spearfishing. And then we're going to go to Bowshot. So this is the Bowshotmundi Sport. So again, this is going to be a little bit on the cheaper end of things, although this one does have a detachable foot pocket. And this fin is going to be more of a medium stiffness. It's going to be better for somebody who's more focusing on spearfishing rather than freediving, and for somebody who's a little bit heavier, has more strength in their legs. And from there, we've got the Bowshotmundi Elite. So again, it's got that detachable foot pocket. It's going to be more of a hard stiffness blade, better for somebody who has really strong legs or a little bit heavier. And from there, we're going to switch brands. We've got the Seac Motus here. This one also comes in black, but we've got this green Camo here today. And this is definitely going to be a softer fin, just like the Cressi GARA 3000s. And it also has a detachable foot pocket there for you. And then back to the carbons, we have the Bowshot Carbon LS. So we've got that really standard Bowshot foot pocket that's attachable, and this really nice carbon blade that's got a lot of flexibility and reactivity to it. All right, thanks for watching the video, guys. Hopefully that gives you a little bit more info on the basics of freediving and spearfishing fins. And as I mentioned before, we're going to be making a different video to be covering carbon fiber fins. So don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and stay tuned for more. And this is going to be the other kind of foot pocket. So this one is actually detachable